Here is another way to remember how to take all of them major and minor chords on a piano. Memorize these two rules and it will be easier for you. Rule 1 is for all chords that has the root key on a white key. We will start by looking at the C major that has all its keys on white keys. Here you can see that the root key is on a white C, the major on a white E, and the fifth is on a white G, and there is a white key between them. You can also see that there are two black keys between the root key C and the major key E, which means that the chord is a major according to this rule. And there should always be 3 black keys between the root keys and the fifth. If there's only 2 black keys, then the fifth must be moved 1/2 tone step up. In a C major, there are 3 black keys in between, so the fifth stays where it is. Now, let's look at the next, just by moving to the next white key to the right, still with a white key between the fingers. And we will get a D. Here there are only 1 black key between the root key D and the third F, which means that the third is a minor key according to the rule. So, we know that the third F must be moved 1/2 tone step up to become a major chord. And there are 3 black keys between the root key D and the fifth A in this chord too, so the fifth stays where it is. And to repeat, if there are 1 black key between the root key and the third, then it's a minor, and if there are 2 black keys, then it's a major. Let's continue to the right, the same way. The root key is on an E, the third on a G, and the fifth on a B. We can see that it's only 1 black key between the root key and the third, which means that it is a minor chord. And we know once again that the third must be moved 1/2 tone step up to become a major. And there are 3 black keys between the root and the fifth, so the fifth stays where it is. And now let's continue by moving the same way to the right. Here we can see, according to the rule, that it is a F major chord, because there are 2 black keys between the root and the third, and 3 black keys between the root and the fifth, and we know that the third must be moved down 1/2 tone step to become a minor. We will continue. We can see that this chord fits the same pattern as the previous F major, which means that this is a G major. It have 2 black keys between the root and the third, and 3 black between the root and the fifth, so the fifth stays. Let's continue the same way. Root key on an A, but only 1 black key between the root and the third, which means it's a minor. And if we want a major, the third must be moved up 1/2 step. There are 3 black keys between the root and the fifth, so the fifth stays. And now the final one, before we are back at the C, 1 octave up. It has the root key on a B, the third on a D, and the fifth on a F. There's only 1 black key between the root and the third, so it's a minor. And to transform this into a major, it must be moved 1/2 tone step up. But there's only 2 black keys between the root and the fifth, and this means that the fifth must be moved 1/2 tone step up, according to the rule. That was rule number 1 for all the white keys. Now over to rule number 2. Rule number 2 applies to all major and minor chords that has the root key on a black key. We will start by placing our fingers like before, but this time with a black key between our fingers. Root key here is a C sharp. The third has no black key, and the fifth is on a black A sharp. Because the third has no black key, it can be moved to the left white key and become a minor, or to the right white key and become a major. And we will continue by moving to the next black key to the right, still by placing the fingers with a black key between the fingers. But there is no black key between the root and the third. That means that the third is a minor key and has to be moved 1/2 step to the right to become a major chord. Let's take the next level. In the same manner, now the root key is a F sharp, the third is an A sharp, and the fifth is a C sharp. There's a black key between the root and the third, which means that the chord is a major chord. We then know that the third must be moved down a 1/2 tone step to become a minor chord. Now let's continue to the right next black root key, which is on a G sharp. Here we can see that there is a black key between the root and the third, but no black key on the third, which means that the third can be moved to the left white key and become a minor, or to the right white key and become a major, just like when we had the root on the C sharp. And now the final black key, before we are back on a C sharp 1 octave up. Here we have the root key on an A sharp, the third on a C sharp, and the fifth on nothing. According to the rule number 2, the fifth must have a black key beneath it, otherwise it must be moved to the next key to the right. There's no black key between the root and the third, which means it's a minor. And to get the major, we know that it must be moved 1/2 tone step up. Now you know one more way to get all of those major and minor chords, by just remembering these 2 rules. Thanks for watching and happy playing! Bye!
If you like this, please subscribe.